What's up, what's up, what's up? What's happening, peeps? Carlton Lewis, a.k.a. Mellow Melanin, a.k.a. Mega Businessman. Coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. Hitting you off with the RideshareDrivingTips.com, helping you earn more, drive less. Today we're going to talk about something, it's like one of my little secret weapons. And, hey, what's up, Ed? What's happening, buddy? What's going on, man? The Phantom is in the building. Yeah, one of my secret weapons, and it's so funny because I used to do this all the time, and one of my mentors actually gave a whole talk on it at a convention that I went to. Big shouts out to Diane Hockman, but she talked about finding the commonality with people and what makes you two connect. You know, when you're dealing with people on an individual basis, on a large scale, you can find out what connects you to people. But I always like to try to find that commonality. And what that does, especially when you're doing something like Uber or in sales or anything where you got to deal with people, if you can find the commonality, that's like an icebreaker. That breaks everything down. That lowers the defenses of people. It in the rideshare business, it makes the ride smoother. And in rideshare business is like doing Uber or Lyft. It just makes the ride smoother. You know, makes the ride more pleasant for not only me as the driver, but for the passenger as well. I mean, they're paying money. So usually what happens too, is you'll start getting tips, and you get monetary tips, but you'll also start getting little jewels and nuggets, different things. You know, I've had people buy me food. I had people give me like magazines that they had where the subscription is $100, you know, to the magazine. So it's just finding the commonality. And what does that mean? In case you guys out there don't know what commonality means, it's just what you guys have in common. What do you have in common with somebody? You know, what's the talking point that you can vibe on? You know, that, like I said, that lowers the defenses. That makes the person more comfortable. You know, like, for example, if I pick somebody up from the airport, right? One of the first questions I ask them is, where are you flying in from? And they'll tell me where they're flying in from. Let's say the person's flying in from New York. I say, oh, okay, cool. I've been to New York a few times. I know a little bit about New York. Now, what part of New York are you from? And then they'll tell me, you know, they may say, well, I'm from Manhattan. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from Long Island. I'm from Buffalo, Rochester. You know, a lot of different places. Upstate New York. They'll say all that. And those are talking points. You know, and I'll say, well, you know, you coming here for work, or, you know, you live here, or do you live there? You know, and that opens up more conversation. And by the time that ride is over with, 9 times out of 10, I've generated a rapport with that person. And that's something that you could do. It's not really that hard. Now, I'm going to give you some goodies on how you can get more skilled at doing this. One thing, number one, is to practice it. You know, use people's names. It's so funny because we were talking about that. Me and some of my buddies were talking about that today. How much better the service feels when someone uses your name. I even had a conversation with a lady like this last week. She said, you know, she would go to McDonald's every single day, but one day she just decided to go to a Burger King. And I'm not giving any pub, you know, to either one of those. They're getting the free publicity now, but she decided to go to a Burger King, and the people at the Burger King use her name, you know, continuously. Like, who is this order for? Who do we have the pleasure of serving? And they continue to use this lady's name. And because they use this lady's name, she said she will always go back to that same Burger King because of the level of service. You can do this in any business that you're in. Use the person's name. The person's name is the sweetest word in English, in any language. Any language, if you use a person's name, you can actually, you know, start generating rapport with that person. A book that you want to get is How to Win Friends and Influence People. by Dale Carnegie. He talks about this in his book. And another thing you can do to actually build on this skill of, talking to people and finding the commonality is to join the Toastmasters organization. And that would be Toastmasters, I believe it's toastmasters.org. And Toastmasters is really a communication and leadership. That's the banner that they train on. That's their theme. And it basically teaches you how to become a better speaker. You can become a public speaker, a better leader, better communicator. It's a great program. I'm glad I went through it, and it's made a very big difference in how I interact with people. It's just so much you can learn. You're able to learn how to talk off the top of your head, just like I'm doing now, so you can have conversations with anybody. There's something about you that connects with people. God, I love the way my mentor delivered that talk, and it just made sense to me. So I use this every single day when I get out and ride around in these streets of Atlanta. I'm in a place called Buckhead right now. Skyscrapers in the background, high rises. There are all kind of mansions all throughout Buckhead, but I'm just in the plaza, doing my Facebook Live, giving you guys the shout. So I hope you got some value out of this. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these Facebook Lives total of 90 days. I'm on episode number 10, and I'm having fun doing them. And it doesn't matter if I don't even feel like doing them, I do them anyway, because there's somebody that needs to hear these messages in order to build their business. And what I'm teaching you is not only applies just to doing Uber or Lyft or rideshare, but it applies to any business. All right, any business. So if you got some value out of it, leave me a comment below. If you want to learn more about how to drive for Uber or Lyft, inbox me and I'll walk you through it. I actually had a call today with a gentleman who I went to high school with, and that's been many moons ago. So he and we connected. He wanted to learn more about Uber. I gave him a whole bunch of tips. This is somebody I looked up to in high school. So I'll help you too. All right, so that's what I do. All right, so once again, this is Carlton Lewis, a.k.a. Mellow Melanin, a.k.a. Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Buckhead, ATL, Georgia. And hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'll catch you on the next Facebook Live. It will be tomorrow. 90 days of awesome tips. I don't care if I had to just dig up a tip or go read some tip in a book. I'm going to give you a tip. All right? Peace.